Is the moon landing real?
Yes.
You think it is?
Yeah.
How certain are you?
Because we have moon rocks. They brought back things.
Because we have moon rocks.
Yeah, that's the evidence. Material evidence is beyond a doubt. When you have it, and by the way, the moon was a piece that was ripped off Earth as a result of a collision of a bigger object. A long time. Did you know that the Earth had 8 hours in a day when it started? It was spinning really fast, and once the moon was chipped off, the spin of the Earth was slowed down. So now we have 24 hours. Imagine that we had 8 hours in a day. We wouldn't get much sleep, right?
No, we'd be sleeping 3 hours a day. So you're certain we landed on the moon. Have you ever looked at, is it Bart, what's his last name? Sibrel? Is that his name? I think it's Bart. If you look him up, let me properly tell. It's Bart Sibrel. You ever heard his
No.
Assumptions on what happened? That the whole thing was fake. They shot it. The shoe, footprint doesn't match the bottom of the foot. The shoe that they had on. You haven't.
No, because there are micrometeorites that impact the moon all the time. It has no atmosphere, so everything on the surface keeps changing. And by the way, just so that you know, on Mars, suppose there was a city on Mars, like Fort Lauderdale. Suppose it existed a few billion years ago when Mars had an atmosphere, oceans, and so forth. There was a Fort Lauderdale. There would be no high-rise standing today because every square kilometer was bombarded by the equivalent of 20 Hiroshima atomic bombs as a result of impacts by asteroids. So over billions of years, anything on the surface is demolished. Even high-rises would not survive on Mars for 2 billion years. Nothing. Everything will... Think about 20 Hiroshima bombs for every square kilometer.
So then the question becomes the following. Okay, so do you think technology is advanced or technology has, gotten worse in the last 60 years?
Oh, definitely advanced.
So how is it that if we landed on the moon in 1960, 69, I believe we landed on the moon, how come we haven't gone back?
That's politics for you. That's the focus on what happens on Earth instead of looking up. Politicians, you have to realize JFK announced the moon mission because of Russia, the competition, and it was a political act, okay? Once the US demonstrated it can do better than Russia, then priorities changed, okay? So the space exploration...
priorities changed from the US government.
Yeah. Space exploration, if you think about it, was motivated either by national pride or nowadays with the US Space Force, it's also national security because there is espionage from space looking down on Earth. The Chinese want to go to the other side of the moon for national pride, but they also have national security reasons to go to space. The third component that Elon Musk pioneered and is now dominating is, revenue, making money out of space, which, he puts a lot of communication satellites out there, makes a lot of money, that funds SpaceX. You have these three, but these are the wrong motivations. The actual motivation to go to space is curiosity. You want to figure out what is out there, and we are not doing it. And, that's unfortunate because I think it's a sign of intelligence to send things out to space, not because you make money out of it, not because you are bragging, showing off relative to other nations, and not because of national security.
I have a hard time believing that, and I'll tell you why. Because on the competition side, right, you said China wants to go to the other side of the moon, right? So, okay, U.S. politics, totally understand. But it's not like we're the only ones that's interested in the moon. If it's something that's doable, that technology from 69 pulled it off, you mean to tell me out of, however many countries that we have that aspire to go there, how come they're not doing it?
Well, it was not a priority politically, but the Artemis program of NASA illustrates, and that was, started more than 4 years ago, that shows you that we can do better than we did in the 60s now. It's just a question of politics. Do you see that as a way of showing off relative to other nations? And only recently, because of the race with China, Russia is now, even though Putin just launched a space craft, as a matter of national national pride. Because of China, now we are trying to go back to the moon. And there are also commercial benefits to going back to the moon. So it's all politics. It's not curiosity-driven.
You think it's all politics?
Yes.
I have a hard time with that one. I have a hard time with that one being all politics. Let me go to another one.
By the way, science is better than politics. I should.
What the challenge is with scientists sometimes? Scientists sometimes, especially those scientists who don't believe in God, my experience is secretly they aspire to one day be God. I don't know why. Like, and I'm not saying all of them. Some of them, they have this tendency of wanting to, and maybe it's because they're spending so much time into their studies and they talk to others that are not at their levels of intelligence that eventually they start thinking, I know more than you do. Just listen to me. Trust me. Everything's going to be all right.
That's very bad practice. And the breaking news is that all of them die.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.